Today we're going back to the night of August 8th, 1969, to see the location where Sharon Tate was murdered while 8 months pregnant. She was murdered on this premises right here. It's not the same house. The original house, I'm going to put an image of it right now so you can see what it looked like, but she was murdered here alongside four others. Stephen Parent, Wojciech Frykowski, Abigail Folger, and Jay Sebring. So I'm gonna go to Street View right here. We can see kind of what it is like, going up to the premises. I think you actually can't go to the street because it's very narrow and it's a private property. So, but this is the entrance right here where you go with your car. It's a very narrow road. I'm actually gonna go up right here to see. We can actually see the house from this angle right here. So here you can see the view. This is the mansion right here, and these are the houses on Cielo Drive. This is where Tex Watson, Linda Kabajian, Patricia Kremikel, and Susan Atkins drove up to the premises right here. They got in, and they proceeded to murder all five people. Stephen Parent was the only one that was murdered outside the house. He was murdered in his car by Tex Watson. Most of the killings were done by Tex Watson, I think, but Susan Atkins and all the other ones, of course, participated. We're not going to get into like who killed who, but they're all murderers. Everybody that entered that house that night. So yeah, this is the view. It's a beautiful place in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles. Just a very tragic story, though. Very tragic. So here we can see it in the aerial view. Earlier on August 8th, before everything took place, Sharon Tate went to El Coyote Mexican restaurant. This is a Mexican restaurant that was, I think, made in 1931, so it's been here for a long time. Yeah, I'm gonna put a picture of it right now, what it looked like back in those days. But this is the Mexican restaurant where Sharon Tate last went to. So yeah, right here. It was made in 1931. So yeah, this is the place right here. It's not that far from the premises of Sharon Tate, but you know. So we're gonna go now to the location where the the perpetrators went to this house right here, to 9870 Portola Drive. This is not far away from Sharon Tate's house, but it's this house right here where they used a water hose that was right here, and they used it to take all the blood, or to wash all the blood off their clothes, because it was a gruesome murder and it was terrible. But the owner actually came out and he confronted them. He said they shouldn't be using this water hose. This shouldn't be on the premises. So Tex and the others got really scared, and they left the house in a hurry. But the owner, he spooked them off, which really shows what a coward Tex Watson was, and the others. But yeah. So I'm now gonna go to the Spawn Ranch, which is up here. So it's a considerable amount of drive away from the other place, the Beverly Hills. So here's the ranch right here. We can't really see it, but there was a ranch right here. It was owned by George Spawn, and it was used for a movie, like to shoot westerns in the early 1960s. So yeah, you can't really see it on this, but it was right here, and this is where all of Charles Manson's followers went. Lived in. So they lived right here on the ranch. So after the murders of Sharon Tate and the four others, they returned right here to Spawn Ranch. And the day after, Charles Manson was apparently not pleased with how the murders took place, interestingly enough. So he made them go to a location right here, which is the La Bianca's residence. This is the place where Leno LaBianca and Rosemary LaBianca lived. And this is what it looks like today. It's totally different than it was. I'm going to put a picture right now of what it looked like in 1969. Totally different. Well, why Charles Manson chose this place is probably because he was at a party earlier in the year. Um, in I can't recall if it was this house. Yeah, it was probably this house. He was at a party there, and he just chose this house. You never really know with these psychopaths, but here they murdered those two innocent people as well. So that brings their total to 7 people murdered, and it was probably a lot more, because right after they killed the LaBiancas, they went. Well, Charles Manson, he left. He went back to Spawn Ranch, which is right here. But the others, he instructed the others to go to Saladinator's apartment, who was an actor, and this is the apartment right here. He was on the 5th floor of this place, so pretty much the top floor. But he made them go into this place and kill that actor. Now, one of the girls, I can't remember who, she said that she went in and knocked on the wrong door because she didn't want to do any more killing. But I don't buy that. I don't buy that in the slightest, actually. I think what happened was she knocked on the door and he wasn't home. So they just left. But they used the other story to make her look like she had any remorse at her trial. So, yeah, I don't believe that at all. There's some people that do, but, you know, they can have their theories or whatnot. But this is the place right here. It was his apartment where most likely he would have died if he was home. So, yeah. And after all that, they returned to Spawn Ranch, where pretty much the basis of their entire operation, I guess, was. And it's pretty effed up, man. It's pretty effed up. But this is the place right here, Cielo Drive, where the famous murder of Sharon Tate and the 4 others, Stephen Parent, Wojciech Frykowski, Abigail Folger, and Jay Sebring, took place. It's pretty haunting, It's pretty haunting.